This is a quick tutorial on how to utilize the Direct Color Systems Color Byte software to import and then set up artwork to be able to make ADA compliant signage. So the first step we're going to do here is we're going to import our file set. Vector is always the best because it's nice and clean. However, you could use about 70 types of files to be able to import. We're going to head and import those first. So there's the pieces that came in as part of that set. We're going to concentrate on the Stair sign. We do not have a cut path in there, and for purposes of what we're going to do, we're not going to go through and set the colors or custom color palettes, which you can do in the software. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these other two because we're going to focus on that stair sign. So we're going to take that piece and we're going to get it right into the location where we want it located. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the piece. So I have a background color, and then I have the tactile color, and then a border color. What we're going to do is we're going to do it all first surface. The nice part about this is that it's one step. You don't have to do painting. There's no weeding. There's no masking. It's all done at one particular time. Now, this particular piece had clear raster beads, meaning that there was holes drilled and cleared beads inserted into the acrylic. What we're going to do is we're going to print those, and we're going to make them background color so they blend in. So because there is no braille here, and we'll do that just by highlighting that area, then we're going to create it. So we're going to use our braille tool, and we're going to type out the Stair 2, and then if I zoom in there, you'll see that. And then we're just going to go ahead and make it a color that we can see easily and convert it to braille. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place it so that it snaps to our center there. And you can see that pink line right there snaps it. And then we want to make sure that we are at least 3/8 of an inch below that other piece. So we'll let that go. Now, easy way to do this is that we could go ahead and take a measurement from there. We're going to go ahead and take a look here. And we're just going to kind of put it there, and we'll be plenty fine. Now, we want this to be background color. So now we just highlight the braille, and then we look here for 211, which is our background color, and we just convert it. And now what we've done is we've created the braille as the background color. So once you have the layout done, what you're going to do is you're actually going to create 2 pages to this. So we're going to highlight our piece, and we're going to create the second page. We're going to say 2 pages. And then what you'll see down here in the right hand corner is it says 1 of 2, and then if I click over 2 of 2. So right now they're identical. What we want to do on the first page is we want to drop off everything that's colored except for the braille. Now once we have this, the braille and the tactile, what we do is we highlight both pieces and we make them a spot color 4, which you'll see is an ADA spot color. And then the last thing we need to do to get it prepped is to tell the machine that it's going to be braille so it knows to print it at the correct height to be compliant. And that's our primer palette there. So now we've taken that whole piece and we've told the machine, told the printer that this is tactile and this is braille, and that we've also set our heights. If we look on page 2, then page 2 has all of our coloring in there. So once you have that set done, then you basically are just going to highlight the piece, and we're going to say file, and we're going to say print. And what it's going to do is it's going to go into the RIP. So the RIP is the second part of this process. It tells the machine what it needs to be able to do in order to give you a favorable result. So once you pick the cue, so in our case we're going to do a 2-pass, which is the raise and then the color. And then what we want is that second color is actually white with color. The reason for that is it's a clear piece of acrylic, so we want to lay down white as a primer and then the brown color right on top of it so that we get the opacity of the white so that the brown will not look translucent, it'll look solid. So we're going to go ahead and say OK. And then basically what's going to happen is I'll open up the RIP here. We're going to send both pages. And if I open the RIP, then what you're going to see is you're actually going to see that job loaded into the RIP. And there's our piece. So now what we have is we have it set in the 2-pass raised then white. There's other ADA cues here for doing clear, for doing white only. So it's the cue that you drop it into that tells you what the machine needs to understand to give you a favorable result. And then to actually process it, all we're going to do is we're going to highlight the job, and then you just click on print. And then you'll see it'll spool it, and then it'll send it right over to the machine. In this process, we're actually showing the first step. So what it's doing is it's shooting all of the color channels at once to be able to do the buildup as fast as possible. So all 8 color channels are firing as one so that we can get to the compliant ADA height as fast as possible. This entire first step, including the buildup, takes just about 4 minutes. And there you can see the piece. Looking at a side shot of the close-up, you can see that our tactile and our braille is fully to compliant height. The second step in the process is the color process once the buildup has been done. So what you're seeing here is you're actually seeing the white being laid down as a primer, and then both the dark brown and the lighter color being put down all at the same time. Again, this is a one-step process. It does the primer, it does the top coat, it'll do whatever color combination you ask in the drawing. Looking at the finished piece, you can see that we have the braille is actually compliant height and it's the background color, all in one easy step. Looking at the piece on the bottom, which was done with a laser cutting out the tactile and then using a router to be able to drill the holes and then insert the rasters and then having it painted, you can see that there were several steps. The top one was again done in one single step on one machine just by hitting print. If you have any questions on this process or any other processes, please don't hesitate to contact us. This entire project, from start to finish, including the design, was less than 10 minutes, and it was a 4x8 ADA compliant sign with a primer and back coat laid down.